B2b sales has gone through a massive evolution, and I think it's very important to understand the history in order to succeed in the future. And I also believe that there is no single one working sales methodology. I think at least you need to master 2 or 3. Or for me, you can't do properly B2B sales because your prospects have changed dramatically. So let's go back 100 years. Wolf of Wall Street, sell me this pen. All of those techniques come down to one thing, and it's called solution selling. What does it mean? It means your prospect understands exactly what they need, what the problem is, and they come to you and they say, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. The advantage, you sell very fast, in average 1 to 3 months. The disadvantage, it's extremely hard to make a difference, because if multiple people give the same offer, how can you differentiate? So we go to the years 1980s. What happened is there was a rise of consultancy agencies. Those models worked really well because they figured out one thing. There's a lot of prospects that know something's wrong, but they do not know exactly how to solve it. So if we have here consultative selling, that was the sales technique invented, what we see is that we have delayed the sales cycle massively. Why? Because people didn't really trust it. They knew something was wrong, but they didn't know how to solve it. So before they would spend a lot of money, they would ask you, can you please do a proof of concept? Can you come in for a workshop? Can you do an analysis? The classic ways consulting is selling. So what we see here is that in average, we have 6 to 18 months before we can close the deal. In essence, we actually have a double sales cycle. First, to sell the workshop, the analysis, you need to prove it, and then you can sell the rest of the offer. About 10 years ago, there was a rise of startups. And those startups, that's number 3, those startups came in and they invented something, but the prospect never heard about it. So the prospect had no idea that they even had that problem. And the sales technique there is called provocative selling. And provocative selling did something very interesting, which it reduced the sales cycle again. So here we went from 6 to 9 months. I truly believe that if we do a hybrid approach, and the way to do it is to figure out when you talk to the prospect, the question is, do they understand the problem? Do they have no problem? Or do they know something's wrong, but they're not sure? If you can figure out the answer to that question, and that's all you have to figure out, you know it's going to be 1, 2, or 3. That technique, trying to figure that out, is called hybrid selling. And hybrid selling, if we apply it into the companies we're working with, what do we see is that in average, we start going somewhere between 3 to 6 months to close any deal. So it's time to start knowing all 3 and to do some proper hybrid selling.